Roll call.
Jordan,
Here.
Here.
Lewis,
Here.
Nelson,
Here.
Robinson, Silver, Ursu.
Here.
I need a motion for the acceptance of the previous council of the whole meeting minutes from May 28th, 2024.
So move.
Second.
Jordan,
Yes.
Justice,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Ursu.
Yes.
Resolution number 82-2024, introduced by Mayor Thomas, Council President Jordan, and Councilwoman Justice. A resolution acknowledging the June 2024 as LGBTQ plus Pride Month. There are some other council members that would like to be on this resolution. At this time, can you come forward so we can add your name to the resolution?
Woman Nelson would like to be added to Resolution 82, 2024.
Yep. We're Todd. We're Brian.
Councilman Silver.
Councilman Robinson.
Councilwoman Lewis.
Won't we just say all of
I
council?
love council. Right.
Is everybody fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is an important resolution, so we all need to be a part of it. Motion to pass the consent agenda items as presented on the current agenda. So move.
Second.
Jordan,
Yes.
Justice,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Ursu.
Yes.
We have a presentation by Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. Representative will give a presentation on the 1676 Richmond Heights Sewer Capacity Improvement Project.
Yeah. Hi, thank you. And good evening, members of council. My name is Cisco Rivera. I'm a watershed team leader with the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. And with me is Lita Lavin, our engineer and construction project manager. So we're here to give you an update on the Richmond Heights Sewer Capacity Improvements Design Project. So this is a local city project here in the city of Richmond Heights that the sewer district is providing the design on. So just a few things about the sewer district. So we provide sanitary wastewater treatment and regional stormwater management to the city of Cleveland and 62 municipalities across 4 counties. We treat on average about 90 billion gallons of wastewater a year, and we maintain 489 miles of regional stormwater system, which is really what that means is the large rivers, creeks, streams, and culverts that drain 300 acres or more. So like Clarabelle Creek back here is on the RSS, so the regional stormwater system, just to give you an example. So for today's agenda, so we're going to give you a background on the project so you can get a better idea of what's going on with this particular design project, talk about some of the purposes of the project, give you an update on where we are, so we're at a milestone of 40% design, and then talk about next steps and what's going to happen next with the project. So now I'm going to hand it off to Lita Lavin, and Lita's going to walk us through this local sanitary sewer evaluation study.
All right. Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
Mayor Thomas. The sewer district partnered with the city of Richmond Heights. We were here about 15 months ago asking for your support for a community agreement to move this design project forward. And as we developed the scope for this project, we wanted to make sure that the city was well informed of the progress of this project. So we're here tonight. Can you hear me okay? Oh, okay. To give you an update on this project. Just to give you some background, this project came out of the local sewer system evaluation study that the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District conducted. We completed this study back in 2020. And through that study, we found 2 opportunities to improve capacity of the sanitary sewers in Richmond Heights to alleviate basement backup issues in Richmond Heights as well as in Highland Heights. One of those improvements were to redirect some flows from Radford Lane to Meadow Lane, and Edgewood Road to Maris Lane. We also, so you can see those yellow lines, drawing those arrows here, those sewer redirects. But one thing I also wanted to highlight is there is a sewer district interceptor that runs along Richmond Road, if you weren't aware. It's a very deep sewer. It's around 200 feet deep underground. So that's where the local sewers connect to this sewer district interceptor. But they don't come into this shaft here. They connect, I think, right around the corner at Highland and Richmond Road is where the local sewers all convey, flow, and connect to that interceptor. So we identified an access shaft that is located very close, just south of Maris Lane, that could be connected to provide additional local capacity for Richmond Heights sewers. That comes into play very importantly for the proposed Bell Oaks development, which I'm going to talk a little bit later. That wasn't part of the study, but it's just an option that improves capacity for the local system for that new redevelopment project. So we wanted to inform you of the funding opportunities there are, because sewer infrastructure is expensive, and luckily there are funding mechanisms out there for grant funding. I'm going to talk a little bit about the sewer district's member community infrastructure program, but what I really want to highlight on this slide here today is Ohio EPA has something called the Water Pollution Control Loan Fund, and that is run through the Division of Environmental Financial Assistance, and they provide funding, low-interest loans and principal forgiveness loans, which essentially is a grant. A principal forgiveness loan is something you don't have to pay back. And those are for, again, clean water projects, typically sanitary sewer projects. Additional funding came into this loan program through the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. We call it IIJA as the acronym. It's also known as the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law. So just to give you a rundown of the timeline of how this design principal forgiveness was awarded, the sewer district and the city partnered back in 2022, almost 2 years ago, to submit a nomination to submit a design project to Ohio EPA. We found out later that year that the project was identified for principal forgiveness, and we came here back in March of 2023 to sign the partner agreement. The city applied for the principal forgiveness loan funding last summer in August, and then the city was awarded $500,000 in design funding last fall. And we kicked off that project about a month later. So as Cisco mentioned, we're at the 40% design submittal and this is an opportunity where we wanted to come before council and the city stakeholders and the general public and inform them of how we're progressing with this project. Some of the tasks completed to date are flow monitoring. So we put these monitors in the sewers, and we're really trying to understand what happens when during different weather patterns. So when it's not raining, that's dry weather, and then when it's raining, a lot of water seeps into the sewers and can cause problems that can lead to basement backup. So we're really trying to understand how much water is getting into the sanitary sewers with the flow monitoring work. We use that flow monitoring work to actually do sewer modeling, so we can actually build a computer model and simulate what's going on in the sewers to understand how they react to different rainfalls during design. We did some field work, geotechnical boring, surveying type of work, and then, as we mentioned, we submitted 40% design plans to the city for them to the review, and the city engineer has provided comments on the plans. We're also coordinating closely with Cuyahoga County. They provide maintenance services for Richmond Heights, so we've been closely working with them, having monthly progress meetings with the city team as well as the county. So just to get you situated with the project areas, there's 2 project areas that we're going to walk through today. The first area we're going to cover is what I call the Radford area which is shaded on the right, and then the Richmond Road area, which is shaded on the left. So the first area for Radford is, this figure here is showing results from our sewer model that simulates the capacity of the local sewers on the streets for a 5-year, 1-hour design rainfall. So this is a rainfall that can occur, there's a 20% chance of that rainfall occurring each year, to give you an idea. And we use these design storms to help us do sensitivity analysis, how the system performs at different levels of rainfall. So red, yes, Council.
Yes, and so on your schematic, the red line going down the middle is the property line dividing Highland Heights and Richmond Heights?
This, you are correct. This this gray dotted line is the community boundary.
Sure.
And on the left is Richmond Heights, and on the right is Highland Heights. This is I should have a north arrow. This is looking at a map north.
Yep. And so, in other words, Highland Heights is going to be benefiting from this quite a bit too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the red means that the capacity of the sewer is exceeded and is at risk of causing some basement backups. We actually know this is a problem area. The community reported this as a problem area when we did that study 5 years ago. Our model projected, the sewer district study model projected it to be a problem area, and in this study, the red line is showing the same as well. If it's green, that means that the sewer is not exceeding capacity, and that there's no risk for basement backups at this rainfall event. So the proposed design to fix this problem is to redirect the Edgewood flows to Maris Lane, as well as directing the Radford flows in Richmond Heights to Meadow Lane. And so as the councilman identified, we're basically keeping the flows in Richmond Heights instead of sending them on their way downstream to Highland Heights. By doing this, we're not creating additional problems in Richmond Heights. That's the one benefit of having the model, is when you think you can simulate and understand if you're causing impacts with these proposed redirects, and that is not something that's occurring with these redirects. There's no impact to Maris Lane, and then there is an issue on Meadow Lane, but it's improved with all the improvements provided. The estimated construction cost for these two improvements is around just over $370,000. Now that's construction cost. That doesn't include bidding for the project, and it doesn't include construction oversight. So that would be some additional cost as well. So what you see here in this slide here is the proposed condition of the sewer capacities. There's less red, which is a good thing. So this call out here says up at Highland Road and Meadow Lane, there's still some potential risk for basement backup, but the water line is lowered. So these improvements haven't made the situation worse. Along Highland and Meadow Lane, it's made them a little bit better, but there's still potential risk for basement backups for the city to keep an eye on if it ends up being a problem. This turns into yellow down here, these areas that were red downstream in Highland Heights. There's still a potential risk, but it's very low because the pipe is surcharged. That means that the pipe is full, but it's not at a level that could cause a basement backup. All right, so now we're switching over to Area 2, which is the Richmond Road area. And this shows a map showing the existing sanitary sewer capacity on Richmond Road here. And it includes the proposed Bell Oaks redevelopment study.
Before we
Yes.
move
Sure.
that direction,
Do you want to go back to the next previous slide.
Yeah, we're looking at Highland Heights. I'm looking here, it seems like, in the beginning, Highland had a lot of red lines.
Yes. So we're removing those red,
Right. In Highland Heights.
correct. So this is so maybe I should clarify, this is an inter-community issue. And inter-community issues, the sewer district is issuing new community discharge permit programs. So inter-community flows are something that communities would need to address. So essentially, the flows from Richmond Heights are causing some downstream problems in Highland Heights. So the proposed solution is to keeping the flows within Richmond Heights and not sending them down to Highland Heights.
Yeah, it just seems like you fixed everything in Highland Heights, but Richmond Heights still have that T
yeah.
up there on Highland Road.
Right,
What
and
you
I'm not
said.
sure if, and maybe the service director, is Meadow Lane and Highland, this is also a model, and models are a tool. We had reported basement backup problems here in Highland Heights. I don't believe this was identified as a reported problem area in this study. So I don't know if the service director has any known problem area at Meadow Lane and Highland.
I haven't got anything reported to me. Justin, did you get anything to you? No.
So
Okay.
this is a model projection, and our models are very conservative, which, so it may be over-predicting a problem here, and that happened a lot during the study. So that could just be a function of the
Okay.
model.
Okay.
But it's more of just something to be aware of for informational purposes. Any other questions before I move on to Richmond Road? So Richmond Road, before Bell Oaks, was green, no problems with capacity on that local sewer. However, with the proposed Bell Oaks flows tying into the local sewers on Richmond Road, you can see red means that there's a potential risk. It's exceeding the capacity of that sewer, but it also causes some potential downstream problems as you approach Richmond Road to Highland Road. So the solution to prevent this issue from occurring is to upsize this pipe sewer on Richmond Road and connect that local sewer to the sewer district's access shaft. So you're redirecting all that additional, you're upsizing the pipe to account for existing flows as well as the proposed redevelopment flows and sending it to the sewer district access shaft. That means this pipe will not have any, it'll be bulkheaded, so it'll basically be like a new pipe starting to accommodate all the other flows on Richmond Road, and that eliminates the problems downstream. The estimated construction cost is $325,000 for this project.
Lita?
Yes,
What's the length of that pipe? It's 200 and some feet, as I recall.
I believe so, yep.
The upsized.
Mhm. A few hundred feet.
It's dropping 200 feet down?
Yes, it's a special drop,
They're just not
drop
dropping
pipe.
it?
You just don't know. You actually have to, you have to create a special drop for it. And you want to make sure, so you don't want to create odors, and that's one of the main reasons to make sure it makes it very difficult to maintain if you have to go in there. We actually have folks that go into the access shaft. You know, you want to have an enclosed structure versus having something spill as they're trying to doing any maintenance.
Just maybe a little background. Back in my tenure in Kim's chair, early on, we received a letter from the EPA saying that we needed to abandon all the septic systems in Richmond Heights.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we could do that is they were going to build this Heights Hilltop Interceptor Sewer
Yeah.
project, which is being talked about quite a bit right here, especially that shaft right out in front of our fire department. Yep, right over there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And in
Okay.
fact, when they were building it, you could go down there if you wanted to see.
Oh.
I didn't